And for the last video, I'll be watching We Take a DNA Test by h3h3 Productions. So hopefully this one will be pretty interesting. The thumbnail seemed to indicate that one of them is adopted. So that'll be really interesting, especially to see if maybe they talk about trying to figure out their adoptive family using genetic matches. I don't know, most of these DNA test results always just focus on the admixture and what percentage, and they don't focus on, your genetic matches. Unless you have multiple people testing and they're like, are you matching each other? So let's see.
What up, Pence? We are about to give me and Hila a colonoscopy. Metaphor. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a terrible way to take a DNA test. A lot fewer people would be taking DNA tests.
I'm sure there's several people out there who are like, we just subscribed to one of these Ancestry websites. Oh, God.
Yep, 23andMe, spit test, gotta do the spit part of the video. Watch how gross this is.
Basically, it tells you everything about yourself. Where your family's from, what cancer you're gonna die from, and all kinds of other weird medical shit. I haven't looked at it.
Yeah, 23andMe, the big thing about them is they do the medical tests. Now, a lot of the other companies are starting to get into that. Ancestry is doing Ancestry Health, and I can't remember if Family Tree DNA is getting into it. That's going to be the next forefront for a lot of these genetic testing companies. Is they're going to focus more on the medical stuff. But a quick disclaimer: if any of these tests indicate something, don't take them at their word. Then go to an actual geneticist, a physician, and talk to them and get properly tested to find out if you have whatever disease it might be saying that you have a risk of having.
But I'm pretty excited to see it. So let's start with my genetic background, my ancestry. I am 99.7% European, 99.1% Ashkenazi Jewish. I might be crowned. People always say Jesus is the king.
In all honesty, it would probably be better if instead of saying Ashkenazi Jewish, they just said European Jewish. Just because it's really, really difficult to tell between someone who's Ashkenazi, Sephardi, or Mizrahi. And so this idea that, it's definitely Ashkenazi, it might be something else. It's probably Ashkenazi, but the few tests that do try to define the Sephardic, Sephardic Jewish and Ashkenazi Jewish and Mizrahi Jewish, they're able to do it somewhat, but the understanding is that their precision and recall is pretty low. Unfortunately, I think the companies that do it, MyHeritage, doesn't actually release a white paper, so it's not quite known what groups they're using for that, and it's also not known what their precision and recall and all of that is. So, hopefully they'd release it. But a lot of these tests, if you see just Ashkenazi Jewish, don't think of it as specifically Ashkenazi. It could be something, could be Sephardi or Mizrahi or something else.
Of the Jews, I might be the king of the Jews. Yours is way more diverse, man. This is powerful. This is a good thing. It's so good that
that's a pretty good mix.
Our kids would come out with like 7 fingers.
It's interesting because for the Western Asian, they're saying Iraq, North African, Arabian. They're saying Libya. So that's pretty interesting.
On one hand, it's
yeah. So Iraqi 43%.
When it comes to these DNA tests, I have the least experience with a lot of the Asian ancestries. So when it comes to a lot of the Asian ancestries, I don't quite know as much.
But
if your mom and dad need to be talking about what's this 43% Iraqi? Because what's your dad?
So my dad is Libya, which is 28% here.
Doesn't add up. Pretty weird that.
Yeah, but people who are living in Libya and people who are living in Iraq probably come from a lot of population groups, or a lot of the same population groups. So if you trace back a couple hundred years, those. So let's see what else they say.
It says Iraq, not Turkey.
I think it's just the way they started to classify it. But
she's right.
Did you tell your mom this yet?
Yeah,
Your sibling?
he's reading into this as if it's defining this is definite percentage exact. This is an inference. This is an estimation, and each population group that they're estimating has different precision and recall. And certain population groups that have really high precision and recall, you can take those a little bit more to heart, whereas some have a lot lower precision and recall. So, you might be Italian and it shows up as Greek, or there's different population groups where it's just harder to tell for sure where they're coming from, which is why I was surprised they were saying the specific country in the results.
But the good news, Ela, is that you are 10% Italian.
Italian, he says it like that. That's funny.
So that's some swag points right there. That's Gucci
That was
as
the
fuck.
one I was really happy to see because I love pasta.
Did you tell your dad that you're 10% Italian?
I did, and
Did
he
he
was like,
swell with joy?
It was like, didn't I always say we're Italian?
10%. Only 4% Ashkenazi Jew. Dude, you're straight muggle-blooded. How's a pure blood wizard like me supposed to hook up with a muggle-blooded 4% Ashkenazi Jew? But true love transcends all boundaries of race.
That 4% probably is coming from her Middle Eastern background, that Libyan or Turkish, or somewhere in there. It could actually be Sephardi ancestry. There were a lot of Sephardi communities in those areas for hundreds of years.
Hey, you're Italian. Forget about it, huh? Hey, all your problems,
Or
forget you're
Mizrahi.
Italian.
Could be
Ethan, your
Mizrahi.
impression is not my goddamn culture.
Oh, shit. 10%, good. Wellness report. Find out how your DNA may affect your body's response to diet, exercise,
Okay,
and
cool. They
sleep.
go into the health
Whoa,
stuff.
This is interesting.
This is you.
This is me. Predisposed to way above average. Bro, I knew there was a reason I was fat that wasn't my fault.
No,
it's
it
not my
says
fault.
About average.
Oh,
Predisposed.
it's my fault.
I don't know if I ever looked into my 23andMe results to see if they have that, because
I was like, thank God.
I feel like I'm predisposed to way above
This thing
average.
says I'm destined to be fat. Lactose intolerant, likely intolerant. Oh my God, this is interesting.
Right.
Oh, genetic weight. Predisposed to weigh less than average. Thank you. Tell that to my dad. I need to print this and wear it over me. Last time I went to Israel, my aunt was there, my dad's sister. And the first thing she says to me, she hasn't seen me in like 5 years. The first thing she says, like, what happened? Are you okay? You look sick.
It's like, bitch,
You lost
DNA.com.
Likely intolerant of lactose.
Interesting. Our genetic health risk reports tell you how your DNA can affect your chances of developing certain health conditions. Oh, God, I'm actually getting anxious right now.
I don't like what I'm seeing here already.
Here we go. Oh, my God, I'm getting anxious. Cancer results? Just tell me. Why are you making me click? Just tell me. They're being like, it's not that serious. Don't worry about it. Don't freak out. Oh, my God. This was a fun video. A zero-day variance detected!
What was this one for?
They freak you the fuck out, dude. They make your ass click through all this shit. Like, it's all gonna be okay.
Yeah, but they're just trying to make sure that people don't read it and start going around going, I have breast cancer. The test says so.
Genetic experience.
Okay, what is that?
Oh my God, my heart is racing. This is scary. This is fucked up.
I feel like a lot of people get really disappointed with these tests in different ways, and a big part of it is because they read so into it as if like these results are 100%, and it's an inference. The only thing that's really 100% is your genetic matches, and even then you're still dealing with some genetic matches that may be what's known as IBS, identical by state, which is basically just a fancy way of saying that you look like you're related, but in reality that relation is really, really, really distant and not what they're actually saying. So beyond that, all of this other stuff with the health reports and with the admixtures and all of that, you're really just dealing with inferences. And so even with these health results, like I said, if they detected some of his BRCA gene, detected some BRCA genes or variants, then it's not that he should take that and start saying, oh, well, I'm going to have breast cancer. You take that and then you go, okay, well, now I need to go and speak with my doctor and, look further into this,
Late onset Alzheimer's disease? All right, let's go. Fuck it. This is so scary. Here, they're making me do this whole shit again. Like, it's all gonna be okay. Don't worry about it. You're gonna live.
There is the skip button at the top.
Oh my god. Dude, bullet number 2. Empty chamber.
He totally did scissors.
Dude. Oh my god. You do not have the variant we tested. Parkinson's disease. I've always suspected I'm gonna get Parkinson's disease. I'm so scared.
I feel like he's a hypochondriac.
Oh my god.
From the way he's reacting, I totally get that feeling.
I'm so happy I checked that now, but that was so scary. I don't recommend you guys check this. I don't recommend you do this. They're going to sell your ass. They're going to clone you so that you can fuck yourself. You have 2 copies of a genetic variant. Age-related
macular
degeneration. It's a common cause of irreversible vision loss.
Oh, shit.
You know what? I'll take vision loss. I got through the gauntlet, man. I'll take vision loss. What is this deficiency? Hereditary hemochromatosis, whatever the fuck that is a genetic condition characterized by absorption of too much dietary iron. This may lead to iron overload, which may result in your increased super athlete muscles going crazy, which can cause damage to joints.
Why are you eating iron?
It's in food, Hila. You know what food is? I know your ass is disposed to be less, but people eat food. All right, so this is like the breast cancer and ovarian cancer one. You want to hold my hand? I mean, it's scary, dude.
See if they do the skip or jump right to it.
0. Thank God, dude. Thank God. That one I was really scared of.
We're not done. Wait.
Alzheimer's, don't.
Really scary. That one sucks.
That one's really annoying.
0.
Thank God. I read it wrong. It said E4. I thought it said you had 4 variants. I was like, you're fucked. Dude, holy shit. Parkinson's. 0. I need a hug. I need a God. I feel fortunate. I feel like we're so lucky that we made it through that together. Like, holy shit. This got really serious.
I feel bad for anyone who does have this.
I'm not sure that you guys should test that. Because that stuff you can't. Well, the cancer one's good to know about.
Yeah.
Because you can prevent breast and ovarian cancer by, But the other ones you can't control.
All right. Well, that was pretty good. It was interesting to see her results, being that she's Middle Eastern, and it was a pretty good mix. I was a little surprised that they were stating specific countries for her, especially in the Middle East, when the country lines have changed a lot just within the past 200 years, let alone the past 500 years. But the one thing is I felt like he was reading too much into all of these results, which a lot of people do. I understand, but the thing is that they aren't as specific as a lot of people think that they're going to be, and they aren't as reliable as people think they're going to be. Like I've said throughout the video, there's what's called precision, and then there's what's called recall, which are the 2 main ways of how they kind of figure out how the margin of error on reading populations. I should probably go into a video about that sometime. But it really is different from each population group. It's different from each company. And so, with these genetic admixtures, it's really just that percentage is an inference, an estimation. The true heart of these tests and what really will help people in learning where they come from is using their genetic matches to expand their family tree. Thank you so much for checking out this video. If you enjoyed, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. You can also click probably right about here if you'd like to subscribe. It's completely free to do so. You can also follow me on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram at GeneaVlogger. And if you want me to do more of these React videos, then let me know down in the comments and give me some links to some stuff that you might want me to watch that's genealogy related. I'm the GeneaVlogger. See you in my next video.